They think you're lazy, unmotivated, disconnected, lacking drive. But they don't see what's really happening. You're not resisting effort. You're rejecting waste. You're not uninspired. You're just no longer willing to perform for empty applause. Some people move differently, not because they're broken, but because they see through the noise. This is a story about them. If you're the type who needs a constant push to feel alive, this video will feel wrong. But if you've ever felt misunderstood for needing less, for thinking deeper, for staying still while the world screams, hustle, then maybe this was always your language. Subscribe or don't. People like you usually circle back when silence feels more honest than motivation. The bell's there if you'd rather remember than chase. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Marcus Aurelius. They called him slow, unmotivated, a poor team player. But he was just deliberate, only acting when something was worth doing. He watched others drown in meaningless motion. He conserved his energy until it was time to strike with precision. He wasn't lazy. He just refused to waste his life reacting. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. Epictetus. She watched others overcommit, burn out, fall apart. But she didn't offer to fix it. She knew her limits. And more importantly, she knew what wasn't her responsibility. They called her cold. She called it self-respect. Sometimes walking away isn't giving up. It's choosing peace over ego. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Seneca. They clocked long hours to be seen. He left early, to think, to build, to rest. They chased promotions. He chased clarity. What looked like laziness was actually strategy. His work wasn't constant. It was intentional. And that made all the difference. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. She didn't compete, didn't over-explain, didn't fight to be chosen. Others thought she lacked ambition. In truth, she just no longer craved approval. She didn't lose her fire. She just stopped burning it for people who couldn't feel warmth without proof. No man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus. He was called difficult, standoffish, lazy, but he simply valued his time. He didn't say yes to things he didn't believe in, didn't force connection, didn't fake enthusiasm. He'd rather be misunderstood in silence than lose himself in performance. Appear as you are. Be as you appear. Rumi. He sat at the back. He didn't volunteer for extra work. He didn't argue to be heard, but when things fell apart, he was the one they called. Not because he was visible, but because he was capable. Some people don't shine because they're hiding. Some are just storing light for the right moment. There are those who run fast, talk loud, push constantly. And then there are those who don't. Not because they lack drive, but because they've mastered direction. They're not lazy. They're just no longer wasting energy to be seen. They don't speak often, but when they do, the silence before and after is louder than anything you've ever heard. Most people will scroll. They need content that tells them to grind harder. This wasn't that. This was for the ones who move differently, who think deeply, who act rarely, but with power. Like the video if something in here felt like it was written in your own voice. Subscribe if you've stopped trying to explain yourself to people who never listened. And if you want more reminders that your stillness is not a flaw, hit the bell. Or don't. People like you always find their way back.